Good afternoon, Mustangs. This is Haley Raya and Sean SAXBY for the Blue View, the official student news source of Millard North. Today is February 24th, and we're glad to be back with a new broadcast.
Our reporters take a look at the large crowds our basketball team had drawn in, a peek into the first e-learning days of the year, and finally an insight on a student taking flight. With multiple D1 athletes and reigning state champions, the boys and the girls basketball team have put a spark into everyone's heart at Millard North. After selling out games and hitting maximum capacity in the gym, we take a look at why this season will be different from the last.
Having multiple D1 recruited athletes and a reigning state champion girls basketball team, the stable has been extra packed this basketball season, creating an energetic atmosphere for all players.
I don't know, I'd never really been a part of anything like that where we were selling out gyms and stuff like that, so it was just really cool to be a part of.
It's definitely a lot more fun because it's a lot more pressure, but I think having more pressure is better because it allows you to perform at a much higher level than what you usually would be in front of maybe 50 people versus 1,000.
With higher game attendance, there has been a notable size change in Millard North student section, leading to more chants and cheers during the games.
It feels pretty good, especially when we have such a good basketball team this year, and most games sell out, even especially at home, and everybody's always looking to be energetic at these games, so it's a pretty good feeling.
As basketball season comes to an end, there is no doubt that this Mustang energy will carry into playoffs and the state basketball tournament.
I think it's great for the school, the environment. Certainly the kids enjoy playing in front of it. I think our student body has been tremendously supportive. It's fun to see the tweets and social media recognition that not only our athletes have gotten, but our student body has gotten as well, as being a great fan base and a support system for both of our teams.
This has been Jesse Mumm and Haley Raya for the Millard North Blue View.
During the second and third weeks of January, the Millard District saw its first 2 e-learning days come into action. The Blue View staff decided to go out and interview teachers about their thoughts on the new e-learning policy.
On January 17th, the Millard District experienced its first e-learning day ever, an experimental form of online learning to substitute for student absences on snow days. Millard, like most schools, utilizes Google Classroom as a way to provide digital resources and assign students work outside of the classroom. After the first experience with e-learning, we went around and asked teachers what they thought about Millard's first e-learning day.
I think the buy-in from staff and students has been good so far. I think we just need to keep in mind the whole purpose of this is so we can get out of school on time when the weather's nice.
I feel like our staff is ready for it. I think it's a logical move going forward, that it's a good way to combat the weather we face in Nebraska. I think staff is ready for it. I think students are doing really well with it so far. I think they enjoy it. They don't get the traditional snow day that they have always enjoyed tweeting about, but they still get the time at home, and it's nice not to make up the day in June and instead get the work done at an easier pace.
The teachers thought that the students responded well to e-learning and appreciated the convenient way of teaching kids on a canceled day of school. They had plenty of ideas to help students learn while they were at home.
It turned out it was actually pretty easy for our e-learning days. We have a lot of stuff in my AP World and psychology classes that we're typically doing as a class online together. Because we are so, I think, Google Classroom efficient already, it's really easy to do at least a part of the lesson on our off days.
Well, I just kept it as a continuation of what we were doing in class, which is what I like about it. So, for example, in English 10, we were getting ready for a poetry terms test, so then I could post a poem and have them break down what the term meant in it. It just flowed, and I could keep the deadlines the same. I liked not having to move the deadlines.
While the teachers had time in advance to prepare for the first online assignment, the second e-learning day came quite fast, but teachers had no issue finding another way to get students prepared.
We weren't as prepared for the second one as we were for the first one. That came as a little bit more of a surprise, so we had to spend a little bit of time just making sure that we were ready to go on that one the morning of, but it wasn't a big deal.
Having them close together was a little bit of a challenge because, again, we were coming up on a test. They were already ready for the test. Then that next snow day kind of blew the test out of the water, so we just rescheduled and again had more prep. I think most of us teachers keep kind of a lesson plan in our back pocket for the e-learning days where we prep ahead of time.
Millard's new e-learning process is a great way for teachers to keep the momentum of learning going and keeping students well prepared for their classes when they come back to school. We're excited to see if other districts will adopt this form of learning and whether e-learning days are here to stay. For the Blue View, this has been Arnav Pokrell and Jack McFadden.
For our final package, we have a feature on a junior who's just earned his pilot's license. We take a closer look as he soars through the skies.
My favorite part about flying is, it sounds cliche, but really to be able to see the world below you, just be up close to the clouds and in a machine that's only been around for a little over 100 years. I became interested in flying when I was five years old, and I went on an airplane for the first time to the United States. It was a very big airplane, but I was instantly captured by the view. I've always wanted to be a pilot as a career, and especially now, it's a great time to become a pilot in the world and also the United States. There's a huge shortage right now of pilots, both in the military and civilian world, and so I really want to take advantage of this opportunity to become a pilot. To become a pilot, you in the United States need 40 hours of flight time, 20 hours with the flight instructor, and you need to pass 3 tests, a knowledge exam, get an oral exam, and a flight portion. And that took me 11 months, starting February 2019 and finishing in January this year. No one in my family is a pilot. I was inspired by that new path that no one had taken before in my family, and it's been incredible the support that I've received from my parents and from my friends and relatives.
This has been Haley Raya and Sean Saxby for the Blue View. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Have a great week and stay classy, Mustangs.